Try not to
Sneeze.
sneeze.
All right, and we are live, everybody. Welcome back to this week's Real Talk. We are joined by, of course, Wasp and the lovely Makara, and we are reviewing The Finest Hours. And wow, but I all hope everybody is having a fantastic day today. I'm a little sluggish. I think it might be, not sure if it's a caffeine issue or the fact that sun's getting a little lower in the sky every day, or a little earlier every day. But I don't know, man. Today was just dragged on. I completely forgot that I had to stream.
It's all good. How are you doing otherwise?
Good. Good day. Other than my dog completely and utterly destroying a $100 collectible book because he wanted my attention. I was in a video call for some of my stuff, and I had a book on the back shelf, a stack of gaming books, and he chewed the spine off two of them. One of them was nothing crazy. It was only like $30, but the other one was a $100 out of print book.
Oh no. He's got good taste.
He's got very good taste. So the evil little
should make
midget
you
that he
feel
is.
happy.
Hey, give me that. Dog, you're gonna chip your tooth. You see him? He's like, he just had dinner, so he wants to play, and now he's gonna chew on his bowl.
Is that his bowl?
Yep, that's his bowl he picked up and is running around with. He's gonna use it as a chew toy for a little while.
Gosh. What is it made of? Is it a metal bowl?
No, it's I think it's like a resin type thing, and it'll just chip pieces off it and they'll dissolve. He hasn't had a problem with it yet. Don't you look at me in that tone of voice. So, The Finest Hours. Let's watch a trailer here. I did remember to bookmark trailers for this movie.
Good.
Like I'm in a gaming drought. Like there seems to be, I'm in a middle ground in between any sort of good new games. Nothing's out that I want, and I really don't want to play my large back catalog that I have. So, and I need a steady winter game. So World of Warcraft is what it is. What the heck did that?
The Arc Raiders. Have you played that?
No, I haven't, but not for lack of wanting. I don't think my PC can handle it. I have a good PC, but it's not a high-end gaming rig. It's a home rig that I use for everything we do. So it's got a good graphics card. It needs a RAM upgrade. I clean it out every 6 months. Just pull it apart and pull the graphics card out, give it a clean out. But I don't know if it could really handle anything crazy high end. It struggled with Helldivers. Most of the games I play are 10 years old anyways. Full beardo.
Full beardo.
And it's not that I don't like new games. My friends don't stick with anything longer than 2 or 3 months at most, and they don't play regularly. When I get into a game, I'll play the hell out of it. Unfortunately, they'll stick to it for 3 months and move on to something else, and I'm not going to shell out $80 every 3 months to cater to their whims. I just don't have that kind of throwaway cash. So I'll either read a book, play my older games, or pay $15 and play WoW.
My camera just got killed. I think I've got a bandwidth issue, so I hope I won't lose you guys.
No, you'll be all right.
So, yeah.
But I just don't have that kind of throwaway cash. Oh, nope, wrong thing. Stop sharing. That's creepy. Yep, professional stream here. There we go. All right, so we're going to play this lovely trailer. I'm going to drop the volume. Okay.
Miriam's scared of the water. I don't know how she's gonna date a guy in the Coast Guard.
You know, we all get scared out there.
I'm not afraid of the water, Bernie. It scares me at night, that's all. You can't see what's underneath.
Just more water.
Just more water.
Station Chatham, you copy? I repeat, conditions hazardous. We've got an 18-foot fracture in our hull. How do you want us to proceed? Over.
You know, they're saying this is gonna be the biggest storm that ever hit the East Coast. It's gonna be a hurricane strength in an hour.
Compass point you home.
Why'd you wait so long before you suggested going out on a date?
I just didn't know if you'd be attracted to me.
You're exactly how I pictured you.
Yeah?
Better.
If we make it out alive from the depths.
What's this on the radio? Ship breaking up.
She's a T2 tanker, split right in half.
We got maybe 2-3 hours, and then we sink.
Where you are.
Chief, pick yourself a crew and you assist that ship. You hear?
That's why I signed up. Guess now's my chance.
The man in there don't know what he's doing. He's sending you out to die.
The Coast Guard, they say you gotta go out. They don't say you gotta come back in.
Gus, did Bernie go out on a rescue? I'm worried about him.
This isn't what any of the other girls do.
So?
No one's getting over the bar in this weather. It's a suicide mission.
Please tell me we're taking that boat to a bigger boat.
You don't know what it's like out there.
The compass is gone!
Please call him back in.
You can't be in here, miss.
I need all the help I can get!
You know, we're supposed to get married.
You're gonna come in here scared every time he's out in the water?
Please call them back.
I'm not giving up on him. Not on my watch.
He's got his orders. Get her out of here.
You're sending him out to die.
Brace yourselves.
Such a underrated film, really is.
Yeah,
The
it
underrated
was-
ones are the best.
Real, like Wallace, the ones that will completely fly under your radar. It's got a good trailer, but it doesn't pull you to the theaters. Are
No.
the ones that you really want to see, the ones you really want to watch. And they're also the best ones that you want to watch at home. You want to sit down with a popcorn. You don't want people yelling. You just want to sit down and watch that movie. And that's what this is. That's what Finest, aside from the historical aspect, it is just a decent movie.
What other movies were released with this one? I wonder.
What came out? Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Domestic box office for 2016 was.
Wow, Deadpool is a rough one to compete with.
The year it came. This came out. 13 hours. The Finest Hours came out January 29th. So it really came out like this was a no faith release. They had no faith in this film. Came out January 29th. It's kind of a dead movie right after you have all that Christmas overflow for that month. And what came out this year? We had Warcraft, wasn't even that good. Deepwater Horizon, The Boss, Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge was pretty good. That was a
Right,
good one too.
January 4th, December. No, like the total. When did the total gross? Yeah, this was also the year This is why it died. The Force Awakens came out December 18th, and it was the golden the fool's gold that it was. Even I fell for it. I saw that movie 4 times in theaters.
Force Awakens.
Yes, I saw the Force. It was you couldn't. No matter what happened, it could not be beat in that box office for the next month and a half. It came out December 8th. It came out right before Christmas. It came out right before Christmas. It was the first Star Wars movie, so it still had all that Star Wars hope behind it. And it came out December 18th, and The Finest Hours came out the 29th. So you have 30 days in theaters, and that was still pulling in tickets for like 2 months because it was Star Wars. It held hope, it held promise, it held all the stuff we'd been waiting for since Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
It was on. We also had Captain America: Civil War, but that was a May release. Rogue One came out that day too. Wait, that can't be right. What the hell's going on here? Apparently it is. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, came out the 6th December. What? Huh? Buddy, stop. What's going on here? There we go. Yeah, we had. Sorry, this is weird. Yeah, Rogue December. Apparently, it came. That was what the heck is up with this? I don't know. Domestic box office. Yeah, so we had Captain America: Civil War. We had Deadpool. We had Rogue One, and then all the way down at number 94 was The Finest Hours, with a grand total of 27 million.
That's all it made?
That was they had no faith in this movie.
Wow.
Look where they released it right after Star Wars, and they're not going to. I think they probably put it out because they had to, because they didn't have Disney Plus up at this point. This would have been a movie that went straight to Disney Plus. It's not a big blockbuster or anything like that, and yeah, I think it would have went straight to Disney Plus. Cara, what do you think?
It's definitely a good stay-at-home movie, good feel-good movie that you need to definitely enjoy with comfort. You know, you get your favorite drink, get your favorite snack, and have at it.
Make sure the dog has something to do. I can't sit down on the couch without that little guy trying to crawl all over me.
Hey guys,
he's still a puppy. He's only 1.5 years old, so he's still very much a puppy.
Very much, yeah. He's got a lot of energy, it looks like.
He does, even after 2 walks. He has all kinds of energy.
So Gary Berry is in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. Gary Berry. Oh, what's going on right now? Never mind. Oh, we're talking about the movie The Finest Hours. It's a historical pick about a Coast Guard rescue that happened off the coast of Cape Cod. It's got actually a pretty decent cast, too. Eric Bana, you're right, Makara. Eric Bana's Texas Southern accent just ain't there.
He's a good actor. It's just that he hasn't quite got the accents down.
No, I will say their attempt at a New England accent was pretty decent. Chris Pine and Holiday Granger, which I actually like Holiday Granger. I actually really think she's a decent actress. Did you ever see The Borgias?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen that.
She was it's a live action series by HBO about the Borgia Pope during that time period, and it has Jeremy Irons. Oh, Jeremy Irons is in it. It has a very, very good cast, and it is very, very dark, and it is just very. It's good. It's a very good show. She plays Lucrezia Borgia And that was my first introduction to Holiday Granger, and she does. I think she's just a decent actress altogether.
Jeremy Irons ultimately steals that show.
Oh, he is so good as the Pope. He really is.
The slimy, just scheming Pope.
The lecherous, the scheming, he was a ridiculously lecherous. The murderous and Cesare and just that time period and everything with the Pope. Although my favorite guy was Cesare's servant, Micheletto, his assassin. Man, that guy was. I'm sorry, Sean. That guy was awesome. That actor. But it only had 3 seasons, and the reason it was cut, it was because it was really expensive to make. It was just super expensive because they didn't use a lot of CGI. It was all set pieces. So you had like Vatican City and roads and everything like that made. And it was absolutely fantastic. And it really helped, but it didn't have the ratings. So it got canceled after 3 seasons. They were talking about a movie to wrap it up. But I'm like, you can't wrap that up. Everything that they would have to do like a 5-hour film to wrap up the series. But it was really good, and that's where I saw Holiday Granger. Chris Pine speaks for himself, man. He played Kirk. He was in Smoking Aces,
Princess Diaries too.
Princess Diaries too, and out of everybody, I thought he did a pretty good New England accent. It's not quite Bostonian, but he definitely worked with a dialect coach. I can hear Hermione Holiday Granger slipping every now and then. The only one who got it right was Casey Affleck, because us from New England actually have to learn to pronounce and stuff like that. And when I get mad and upset, my New England accent comes out. Otherwise, my grandparents were from Minnesota, and they really worked with me to remove the New England.
Well, I have given up on removing accents because I just can't. I've got. It's hard. It's hard.
You speak 4 different languages, Wasp. No one's gonna. You're a polyglot. You can speak more than one language. It's okay.
That's why I just buzz around sometimes.
Me, I just start yelling, and the next thing you know, I'm dropping my R's, and you get retard, and just going full New England.
Yeah, it's all fun.
You know, the worst part is I'm only 40 minutes from Boston.
Boston?
Yep.
I love Boston. Makara, have you been to Boston?
I've only been to a few places, but not Boston.
Yeah, I love Boston. It's a beautiful city.
Was not so much anymore.
Really? I mean, there's a lot of
not to get crazy political, but the current state of the mayoral of Boston has really done a wonders, like akin to things like Seattle and things like that. It is not a very good or very safe city. I used to go in once a year. I used to walk the Freedom Trail. Used to visit Paul Revere's house, Old North Church. I wanted to go a couple years ago. I was looking at going camping at Lexington and Concord at that park that they have. They wanted $250 a night for a campsite, not even a furnished one, just a campsite to put your tent down.
So you had to take your tent and everything anyway.
Yeah, but they wanted $250 a night, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm not sure. You know what I can do with $250 a night?
You go glamping somewhere.
Yeah, I could go glamping at that point. But the Freedom Trail was always one of my favorite things. It is a gorgeous city. Well, it used to be. Now, not so much. Yeah. But I'm hoping one day it'll get back to normal.
You know, the cobblestones. There was always a lot of law students, young crowd, hanging out.
Harvard. You got Harvard, Harvard Law, and Cambridge. You have so many big colleges down there, and let alone if you travel west. If you travel to Amherst, you have 5 colleges in one town, world-class colleges, UMass Amherst. And then you got UMass Boston.
Look, we got Casey Cheeto in the...
Casey Cheeto!
Yes, hello.
Jeremy Irons is goated. I love Jeremy Irons. We will have to watch a Jeremy Irons movie in the future. Maybe The Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good too.
not that Dungeons and Dragons one.
I do have a really. I was thinking of a worst movies we could think of for April as an April Fool's joke to everybody.
Yeah. So I think the movie, I don't know why it felt a little bit short on the performance by the cast.
It did it did.
I just couldn't figure that out. I was so excited about it, but the more it got into it, the more I was kind of let down. I think I don't know why they were so soft on their delivery, but
Well, Bernie struck me as he didn't. He delivered. Chris Pine delivered well for the character he was given. I thought Bernie did. Bernie doesn't rev up. Bernie's level. Bernie is like
yeah,
the baseline everybody kind of goes with. So he does the right thing. He doesn't raise his voice really, and he just does. And I just was like that. That makes sense. He's a baseline character. He's not going to rev up. The scene where she's like, call them back, I'm like, you could have went over the top. Like, she showed too much control there. And I thought, you got to you want to bring them back. You're going to need a hell of a lot more persuasion than that, especially to sway somebody on duty in the military.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. The girl, I thought, where she kept saying "bring them back" or "bring them back." That was kind of
Call them back.
Yeah, or is it call them back? Yeah, one of however she was phrasing that. I thought that was kind of it was different. You do that a couple times, but she just turns around and huffs and puffs and walks away. That was a little bit like I don't know. I felt like she could have been maybe a little bit stronger,
A little bit more forceful,
there,
but I think the
yeah.
time period, not like to swing it the other way. I think that's where the time period came in. Composure, a certain amount of composure that they have, no matter how much you wanted to lose your cool, you didn't do it in front of people, and you left and you dealt with it like she did in the car, and that was a very 50s thing to do.
Yeah.
You don't show your feelings in front of people. You melt down in your car and drive it off the road.
Yes. No, but
go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, please.
I did like that we got a very early performance from Rachel Brosnahan in this movie as the widow of like that whole story. That this whole subplot of really why Bernie was dedicated to go out was he tried to get out before and he couldn't, and that woman lost her husband. And her brother was the one that saw the ship. So maybe I like that actor, but this whole, well, you got to go out and get them, even if it costs you your life, as kind of trying to pay back his sister for losing her husband. And I'm like, I thought that was really bad. Like that was really scummy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a little bit bitter, and you could see it. I mean, it was first I didn't know what was happening, but then I connected him with the widow as the brother of the husband that was lost. So that was a little bit of a, like you mentioned, a puzzle that got solved a little bit into the movie. But
Barry, I agree. She worked well as a mirror to Bernie. But the performance, like Bernie's performance, is flat because it's supposed to be flat. She could have showed a little more emotion in quite a few places. Instead, she comes off as that clingy girlfriend that calling him every hour and everything, just that very clingy, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And I love the set pieces, and let me tell you, there are still towns on the Cape that look like that. Just that single main street. There's not a massive shop, and you might see like a Starbucks or something like a small chain store, but you're not going to see big box stores that far off the Cape.
right.
The more you drive up the Cape, the more you will see those small New England towns that you read about everywhere. Unfortunately, the deeper you go in, the worse it gets.
the storm event that hit in 1952, was that one of the most significant storms that the area had suffered, or was it just a
No, I
normal
don't think
winter?
it was just another blizzard. The issue wasn't that it was a storm. Having hit Massachusetts getting hit with something like that, especially on the Cape, is something they're used to.
Right.
But this one is because 2 oil tankers snapped in half because the seas were just that rough. And it wasn't like a storm of the century.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out how come two. I think one of the tankers looked like the Pendleton. It was repaired. You know, he's got something to say. Maybe somebody's trying to
He
break
hears something
break in
outside.
your
He thinks he
house.
hears something outside the door. So apparently, it was a 1952 nor'easter. Let's pull this up.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was
what I thought was interesting. Pendleton was repaired, and that was the repair line. I think that cracked, but I wasn't sure about the other vessel. If that was also, how did that one snap in half? I just couldn't quite connect the two together. But it was interesting that both of them went down during that storm.
The ship's man. Yeah, so there's the bow of the Pendleton. Apparently, they got a picture of it.
Yep.
One sec. It wouldn't let me back out of blowing up the picture. But yeah, it wasn't completely insignificant, but 12 to 30 inches of snow, that's not bad. Well, for the coast, that's kind of rough. The water in the air reduces how much snow's on the ground. Like if something like that hit in here, it'd probably be like 3 feet.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that like 7 or 8 years ago, we got 7 feet of snow in a week.
Wow.
We had just enough time in between storms to shovel a path, go to the supermarket, and buy more food, and then hunker back down. I know I was helping out my dad, doing stuff for my dad at the time. So yeah, we were shoveling off the car and making sure he was getting to doctor's appointments, rescheduled. It was crazy. But no, nor'easter, that's not too bad for New England. No, yeah, the impact. Yeah, we got the Pendleton. It covers the Pendleton disaster. There's Bernie Weber.
Bernie Weber. Doesn't look like him much, though. They picked the character because they had some shots of them at the end. They had pictures of the real characters. So when I saw his picture, I was like, oh, well, maybe I couldn't see how they picked him. I don't know.
They always got to make them look pretty.
They do. You got to gussy them up.
Yeah. Hacksaw Ridge, they did a good job with that one because when you watch that movie and then you see the real life, person, I kind of could see the resemblance in the characteristics. This one, I just couldn't. It's hard to do that with Chris Pine,
Yeah, it's made for they'll pretty them up. They'll do everything they gotta.
Yeah.
But no, that Chatham, Massachusetts. How far down is that? Yeah, there it is. So I live somewhere up here. I can't say where, but I live somewhere here. I live somewhere up here in Massachusetts, in this general area. So driving down to Cape Cod looks like this.
Oh, wow. And it takes you about an hour and a half, 2 hours, you said?
About 2.5 hours because the traffic. So it has a 4-lane bridge you have to go over, and it's got toll roads and everything like that. So it takes a while, and then that's just to get over this.
Wow.
Then you got to go over all the way up to here and everything. I applied for apartments up there before.
Huh.
Oh, nice, Mike. You know what I mean. But no, the the breakup scene, the actual like breakup scene where he's talking to the captain and you're like, you got to do something here. And then when it actually snapped, the CGI on that was so good. And if you look at the CGI then, like even for this like even for this like nothing film, compared to all the CGI they got coming out now, it's night and day. Like they used to put attention to detail and everything like that into these films. But now you just get, it just looks horrible. Just you need the CGI to help suspend disbelief to put them in there. And when you screw up the CGI, you're not getting that.
That's why I'm more leaning towards practical effects with maybe a little bit of help from CGI.
Yeah.
Miniatures would have been great for that breakup scene. Like they did, like you can't go Cameron because not everybody's going to have that Titanic level budget. But you could have done a great miniature scene with that.
Yeah, unless you're like you said, unless you're Cameron, the most nowadays all CGI just looks awful.
And I don't know about you, but I don't want to see a movie about blue space aliens that have sex with everything. I really don't. Jay loves them, and God bless Jay, but I don't get it. I saw it, and I'm like, this is boring.
I agree with Jay.
No judgment out of me. Like, if you like it, that's fine. I just don't get it. All I see when I see this is Fern Gully without Tim Curry.
Yeah, Jay and X-Wing love it, and I was like,
seriously,
anybody?
if you can get into that stuff, that's great. But maybe it's because I read too many books or something like that. That I need a little bit more higher things than a really pretty thing.
Yeah,
I do agree with Ryan and Jeremy that the second one is definitely, it has that family aspect, whereas the first one is, I like the action of it more than the romance aspect of it, and I think that was very well done. The creatures look awesome.
I gotta give it to the one thing I gotta give it to Cameron on is creating the whole Navi language. Like I'm a big fan of that attention to detail with stuff with aliens. Like Alien Nation, they did a whole language for the aliens, for the newcomers in that. And I just appreciate stuff like that because that token originally was a language professor, and he basically made all this extra stuff to go along with the other things he was making up. And aside from the fact that he wrote it to make his wife happy and bedtime stories for his kids and everything like that. But it's still one of those things where it's like, I just don't get the appeal. Like, I'm not knocking people for it. I just don't understand. It's one of those beyond me things.
Yeah.
Well, it's the story with sequels. The first one's the best, and the rest of them,
I never rushed out to see the first one.
Yeah, I liked the first one. The first one was pretty neat, actually. I liked it.
Yeah.
The second one.
One thing I like about so the behind the scenes is kind of interesting because a lot of it is they actually built the sets and they all acted out in motion capture, including like the swimming, the diving, and even just walking around, interacting with each other. So it's not like they're interacting with just nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the one thing that Disney doesn't seem to get, that you can't just CGI everybody individually because you're afraid something's going to leak something. Yeah. That's why they started doing it. They'll have people acting off of no one.
Well, like especially in Disney live actions and even Marvel, it's like you have to, like, unless you're Ian McKellen, you acting by himself.
Yeah, he broke down. Like that whole scene, he broke down. Like he's like, this is not why I got into acting.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, when you're acting with people and you're actually getting into the character, even with motion capture. It's like just give the actor something to do and something to look at.
Even if it's a tennis ball or something like that with a smiley face.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Cameron does. I know, like, people just think, oh, it's a CGI monstrosity, but like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like, I watch a lot of the documentaries on that, and it's like it's kind of cool how they're making the movies, and even just like how they go into like the computer graphics and all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
There,
Granted,
there was actually. I really wish that Cameron had made Aquaman. Who better a director
the
than
water scenes would have looked so much better.
guy who invented the ocean, like the basic idea of the ocean faring Abyss. Oh my god, Abyss!
Abyss, yeah, what a great movie.
All shot in a shut down nuclear reactor, by the way.
Wow. Wow.
You can still visit the set. It's all still over there, but it was all done in a nuclear reactor, and who better than to have somebody do Aquaman than Cameron? I mean, seriously.
Well, that and recast because I didn't like the cast.
No, was getting into it with my co-host about potential DC castings going forward, and I'm like, I want Glenn Powell to play Booster Gold. Booster Gold is a hero from the future, a nobody from the future that uses time travel to come back in time to be a hero with corporate sponsorship. I'm not kidding you. He is gaudy. He just smile. He's blonde haired, blue eyed, wears a golden blue suit, and just would love it if Glenn Powell played him. But at the same time, I don't want any of my actors that I actually enjoy anywhere near any superheroes. And yes, the Park Lynchers Unlimited, it was 100% the plot from season 2 from Entourage. That does not make it a valid idea. It's true. It wasn't my original idea, but James Cameron would make a better Aquaman than anybody out there. He would. Like, the show put me onto the idea, but the more I think about it, the more it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and some people were like, well, yeah, I like the underwater scenes, and I'm like, I didn't like them. I thought it was, you could tell it was so incredibly CGI, but not in a good way. And I would have loved Patrick Wilson, and I think he would have made a really good Arthur Curry.
Yes, he would have done a very good Patrick Wilson. I fell in love with his acting style in the Conjuring movies.
Well, for me, it was Conjuring and Phantom of the Opera.
Haven't seen Phantom.
Yeah.
But I definitely like Patrick Wilson as an actor.
He's really good in Phantom of the Opera. I think you'd like that one with Gerard Butler.
Oh, it's the one with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum?
Yeah. He plays Raoul.
I haven't seen that one. Need to check that out.
It's really good. The music is amazing, and like even the set pieces, it's all practical. Maybe a little bit of CGI here and there, but like it's really good.
Cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. One of the things talking about the scenes in this movie that I thought was interesting is, when they were deboarding off the vessel into the Coast Guard boat, there's the one that it hit the side and the guy that got killed. That was a little bit of a...
That actor can't get a break. He dies or is just a low-key background actor. He has speaking roles and everything, but he's a low-key background actor in almost everything he does.
Yeah.
And he was in ER. He was one of the nurses at the station in ER, and all he did was answer phones all day. He interacted with the cast, but all he did was answer phone. He was in almost every episode of ER for like 5 minutes total throughout the whole episode.
Wow. Yeah, so just how they made that scene was probably difficult to do because there was so much movement with both of the vessel and the boat, with the water.
The worst is he didn't even hit the side of the vessel; he hit the props.
Yeah,
like oh man, I can't crack him against the side of the vessel. You got to run him into the props.
Yeah. That's right.
That was like, damn.
Yeah.
That scene where the Seabird, I like it when Seabird, like, they're like, oh, they're gonna launch the boat and everything like that. They're gonna get off, and Seabird's like, all right, we're just the look on his face was like, I don't have time for this shit, and walks up the stairs with an axe and just breaks the boat.
Breaks the boat.
Like, it knocks it into the sea and it cracks up against the side. And I'm like, you would have died with that if you got into that boat. I'm like, yeah, you would have as soon as you hit the water. These are, like 1952 dinghies. These aren't, modern boats that hit the ground.
Yeah. I was watching a documentary not long ago with the new line of Coast Guard vessels that are coming out. They can actually rotate and they come right side up. I mean, it's just technology is fascinating in how advanced they are. But just to think about going out at sea with just formidable force of the waves and the water, I mean, it's just scary.
Well, for 52, that Coast Guard boat was really
pretty
well
well,
designed.
yeah.
The engine was housed in it was not airtight, but it was watertight. So when they were going through the waves and cutting through everything, no water could get into the engine air tank.
That's right.
So the engine would keep going. And I'm like, that for 52, that was phenomenal design, right? That boat was top of the line.
Agreed. It was. I was surprised to see that in the movie. I thought that was well portrayed and shown. So it's like, not a lot of people realize that back then we had that kind of technology that could maneuver through the elements like that. So, that was another interesting part in the movie that I thought was pretty neat.
Like I was saying before, the scene where when the ship broke in half, he's like, Baloo, go see the captain. Captain can't understand me. Well, he doesn't listen to anybody, so just go anyways. So when he goes out and he's walking along the gangplank and he goes through, I think they made that whole back part of the ship. I don't know how much of it, but I know that some of that engine room and some of the decks were not all CGI. It was literally very much a set. But the CGI piece where he actually goes out on the gangplank and stuff like that and looking down, I don't know how much of that was CGI compared to the actual set. I couldn't tell. And I like that I couldn't tell, because these days you can tell anything. You can tell what's CGI, what's not. But this, you couldn't tell when the transition happened, when they switched to that CGI moment.
Yeah.
That was good. The whole ship breakup scene.
Yeah, that
was one
good.
of the best.
It was. And another thing, again, I know we talked about it before show started, but I really liked the clever idea that the vessel crew had in running the vessel into the sand. So I thought that was very smart of them.
Found a shallow shoal and just ran it aground.
Just run it to
at least till the tide comes in.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the best you could do at that time. And then the other thing that was surprising is that nobody had a compass. How could you be out there?
The compass was on the bridge of the compass. They were in the engine room, and the compass is on the bridge of the ship. So like engine room here, bridge up here.
So they could not. Yeah, I mean, but what I was thinking it was incredible is that nowadays you can have a pocket compass, but just think about it. Back then, nobody even had a compass on them.
We got walking GPS everywhere we go. We need to find out where we are. You don't need to read a map.
Yeah, little things like that were just like, okay, I'm like, wow, this is like 1952. Look how far we've come. We don't even have like compasses, back then. The individual survival kits, the whole concept now is different. Like you have an emergency kit in your car, you have XYZ in it. And here it is in 1952, the Coast Guard crew, they did not have access to a compass, while they're trying to rescue a vessel. So those were kind of some of eureka moments in the movie that kind of makes you think like, wow, we've come a long way.
Just
You know?
we've come a long way, but also we've lost skill. No, but like they would be relying on so much tech like that to do a rescue today. Like
Yeah.
you know exactly the ship would have a beacon in here, extra things, all this. And you know, all these extra modern conveniences have put us at the point where like my friend can't read a map. He doesn't know how to properly read a map. I went to Boy Scouts. I know how to read a map. I know how to start a fire. I know how to sew. I know how to do all sorts of life skills that you get. But
I
he
did not know
doesn't.
you
And
were
there's
a
only a
Boy
4-year
Scout.
age gap between us.
Boy Scouts? We did not know you were a Boy Scout. Did you get your eagle?
No, I did not get my eagle. My uncle got his eagle. I stopped scouting, I think, when I was 13. But I was a Boy Scout. I went all the way up from Cub, all the way up to Boy Scout.
Goodness. You have all your badges still? Your
No,
merit?
my mom might have them somewhere. I don't know. She keeps a lot of stuff, but I don't have them at here. No.
That's fantastic.
Pinewood Derbies, did it all as a kid. I loved scouting. It was great to get out and do stuff. Now
Yeah, nice.
but I have a lot of practical skills that I use. I know how to start a fire. I know how to gut a fish. I know how to cook over a fire. I can sew. I can identify some plants. Not like I used to. As you get older, you forget stuff.
Yeah. So you can cook, you said. I wonder if you can cook better than Sevi can. I hear she cannot cook.
My
so-
microwave can cook better than
Your
Sevi can.
microwave. That's funny. Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, oh, Sevi. I set my friend's houses on fire. Oh, Sevi.
Sevi. Yeah, I know. No, but honestly, back to the movie, I thought that not having a compass was pretty much of a like a surprise moment for me.
Yeah, when they
Thinking,
lost the
wow.
compass, that was great.
Yeah.
But it just like when Bernie said, "I know these waters pretty good," you know, the whole New England thing. And he's like, "I know these waters pretty good," and he was right. He didn't know these water pretty good. He knew those waters better than the guy running the place.
Yeah.
Like if he knew, he would have sent them. I think if Bernie was in charge, it would have been different.
And
But
it was interesting also that he knew which pattern the water would flow, you know.
the flow of the water, he actually went over. He's like, well, if we started out here, the current's going this way. We got to hit the bar, then we got to go down. And we got to. It's about if we got the distress signal here, they would have fallen like 6 miles south and everything like that. And after that, we should look for them around here. And after they lost the compass and everything like that, Bernie, the whole time they were going through all that, Bernie was keeping mental track of how long they were going in what direction when they had the compass.
Yes.
And that alone is just like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was impressive. I mean, but also it makes you wonder how much of it was luck. I mean, it had to have played a heck of a lot in that whole scenario for them to have found them and then to actually made it back.
They're like, skill can only take. It was no sense of no stretch of the imagination that they got lucky. Yes. Like the luck, they're like, well, the crew was smart about it. They didn't overreact. They almost did, but Siebert fixed that problem with a saw, with an axe. And the communication through the telephone that they played, like barking orders level to level, not a single thing was missed.
I know that was so interesting because you had them on each deck level and they were just relaying. So that was pretty neat. I had the opportunity to be in a ship repair environment for quite some time. And it's amazing the things that you don't realize you don't have aboard a vessel. Lights go out. Every kind of a service line you got to pull from shore onto board, especially when you're doing like repair stuff. But that scene kind of, was very real to me because I have experienced that in things that you have to convey because sometimes radios don't work. You don't have Wi-Fi. Even to this day, this is how a lot of some of that communication takes place. So I thought it was pretty nicely relate.
On a pure force of habit, my radio in my kitchen has is loaded with C batteries in case the power goes out.
Yeah.
I have a flashlight, I have candles.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably share a list with everybody of things to have for emergency kit. I think that's something that all of us, no matter where we are, there's certain basic things you should have, and I'm not talking about the food, right? just basic things that
Flashlights,
will,
candles, glow sticks, matches, lighter.
like your flashlights. Even you have to get the one with the hand crank ones because even batteries you might not
Hand
be able
crank,
to use.
hand crank radio for emergencies.
Exactly. I mean, these days, I mean, there's just so much you can do, but with the whole concept of them relaying the message, that kind of hit home for me too. I was like, oh, look at that. That was still a
I
good way
loved
of
how they
communication.
jury rigged that tiller arm with
Yes.
the I beam. I'm like, apparently they got the only thing that I could pick wrong with that scene was I'm like, wow, apparently they have a perfect fit I beam on that ship.
Yeah, you could pick it apart, but I mean, it's amazing how when you are in that kind of a survival mode, it's amazing how ideas come up. And what else are you going to do? You're just going to have to try the best idea and give it a shot. What else are you going to do out there? You can just kind of float and die. Well, let's try something. So it was pretty good. I just felt like they try to force the story that nobody liked the Affleck character, and then when he started speaking up, it was kind of a soft thing. But I like the fact that he was just laid back, and just sat in the background.
I never took him as a laid back guy. Like he
You
dealt with
didn't.
things, but he's a problem solver. He's an engineer. That's what he does. And he just doesn't care for a lot of people. I mean, you had Graham McTavish in this. I love Graham McTavish. He was a Scottish actor that broke his arm. When the ship broke, he landed and he broke his arm. He was in the sling for the whole time movie. And he was in the Hobbit movies. He was in so many things over the years. He's such an underrated actor. And
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
doesn't get it. He's very good. He's got a very good presence and he's great. So the Graham McTavish, and like he had him and Baloo were the only people like Siebert like actually liked to deal with.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm having a chat with Cole Hauser in the chat here. So yeah, we were talking about ships and vessels, but I've actually worked in all kinds of industrial background, but the marine industry is absolutely fascinating. Having to deal with Coast Guard regulations or safety regulations that goes with that, even working with cranes and all of that aboard a vessel is completely different than you see in an industrial facility. So it's a different world, but that's why it's when disaster strikes at the sea. This is what was good, significant movie for me to watch. Is that you have no choice but try to survive, because if you fall in the water, you're either going to die or become, shark food or shark bait.
This far
There's
north, you're more apt to freeze to death.
Yeah, and you see there's, I mean, it's just such a massive force. And the other thing that folks don't realize is that fires aboard these vessels can be so dangerous because there's nowhere you can go. I mean, it's impossible to survive it. Once it burns, it's all gone. So that whole sense of duty that the Coast Guard had, that no, we're going to go and try to get them back. It meant a lot, because when you are in that environment and you work it, you kind of realize that there's hope out there. These guys really, Coast Guard comes out and they put their lives at risk to rescue you. So it's just that their role is really not well understood or appreciated. We hear about it, right? The Coast Guard, you got the beacon. They're out there looking for narcotics or pirates and this and that, but they actually just are like the fire department on land.
No,
They
Coast
do.
Guard are next level, man. Like,
Yes,
they
definitely
really are some next level stuff. And back in '52, they didn't have the tech, but they had the guts.
Yes, Yes, and now
Now they got
they're
the tech
equipped.
and the guts.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So it's phenomenal. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. I think I gave it a good score. I felt like I could do maybe better, but I really, in good conscience, couldn't give it more because I felt like it felt some.
I
short
gave it a higher than average score, but I did that because it was honestly one of Disney's. It was Disney's last good non-IP film. Like there's no way around it. Like Disney has really dropped off. Everything they do is IP based. It's Star Wars. It's this. It's that. They're not doing anything new. They're not adapting anything new. And they used to be great at those adaptations.
Yeah,
And I gave it a
definitely.
90. Basically, it's not a stellar movie. It's not like run out and run home to see it. But it's still a very good flick.
It is a
And
good movie.
I gave it a 90 because it's a live action non-IP remake. You don't see them very often anymore.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. I mean, it is good entertainment. It had a good story. It was slow a little bit and had some odd moments, but it did have some thriller moments too. So,
The scene where they're trying to get over the Chatham bar.
oh, that was good.
That was so good. Like I actually think that scene was better than the ship breakup. I just happen to like the ship breakup more.
I agree. That was like, when they cleared it, it was such a relief. It was like you felt the tension. You really did. I agree with you.
The fact that ship cracked in half, that was just crazy.
Yeah.
So here we are. We got critic lists up. This is what we use to review all our movies here on Real Talk. Free to sign up. You can drop a review for any movie you want to. Make sure to downvote Blaine's Jaws review and Beardo's Die Hard review. We got to make sure to put that out there. Oh, and anything Epic Mike puts up gets a downvote.
What's up with that? I'm trying to figure that out. It's like every review he does, somebody has downloaded him.
Every vote. Without skipping a beat, I'm like literally. I'm waiting because the Hangover's about to go live. I have the tab open for Mike's page. I have it bookmarked for speed purpose, for speed and relevancy purposes. I have his profile bookmarked, and it's like Epic Mice just posted a review. Click, dislike, comment, enter. Every time.
You're the one.
Me and Turd Ferguson are the ones that downvote all his reviews just because we can. Just to mess with Mike.
That is so funny. I think when Mike laughs, I can't help it. I start laughing.
When Mike laughs, he laughs with everything. He laughs it up to his eyes. He really gets a kick out of something.
It's amazing. Yes.
So no, like this had. Let's see. It had Ben Foster was in this, and he is criminally underrated for an actor.
Oh yeah. And he looks so different with that hat that he had on. He's one of those guys that when he puts a hat on or different uniforms, he just completely looks different.
Oh, he was in 30 Days a Night. I have this. I've been meaning to watch it. I'm like, it's Halloween. I haven't watched 30 Days a Night. And then I remember it's a comic, so I want to read the comic first before I watch the movie because I hear there's a big difference.
It's a big difference. It's pretty. I thought it was pretty gory, but I'll be interested to hear what you think about it.
It's definitely been on my list to watch. I like. I get that some things are not going to adapt to the movies,
right?
Are going to adapt well, but if you can take a comic book and do a decent adaptation, I'm not talking put the director's flair on it. I'm talking take X story, chop out what needs to be done, and put it on the big screen. Then fantastic. So yeah, so Ben Foster was in this. I forgot he was in X-Men Last Stand. He was Angel in X-Men Last Stand. He was the antagonist in Inferno. He was also in Punisher, the Thomas Jane's Punisher. But yeah, just a very underrated actor. Of course, the great Graham McTavish.
Yeah.
Great Graham
He looks
McTavish.
like a great Wolverine in that picture.
He would make a great Old Man Logan, but so he was in Lucifer, he was in House of Dragons, he was in The Hobbit.
He could play Stalin. He looks like a good Stalin too.
He is a very, very good actor. He's got a long list of
Rambo?
acting credits.
Was
What?
he in Rambo? Wait a minute. I thought I saw Rambo up there. Was he in Rambo?
No. Oh yeah. He was the lead he was the leader of the mercenary group in Rambo.
Huh.
The one that goes in to save him, that he was the leader of the mercenary group. Lewis.
Was it Lewis, right? Lewis, right?
Yeah, he just didn't have a beard.
Yeah, wow. Interesting.
No, he was pretty decent. Yeah, but and then of course the early Rachel Brosnahan right there. But no, let's get into it. So I give it a 90. Movies based on a true story. U.S. Coast Guard's finest rescues in history. Like I said, this movie literally flew completely under radar. It's one of the best Disney movies has made in the last 10 years. Like it's just a movie. It's not an IP. It's not something they're trying to. It's an adaptation of a real life event. It's got a Hollywood flair on it, of course, but it's still just a movie. You go to the movies, you don't expect more. Like The Finest Hours 2, another ship is broken. Nothing like that. Just another movie. We got Kingdom Hearts Gamer here with amazing movie review, a stellar novel that is. Cortoberfest gave it a 78. All right. Finest Hours, January release, flew under the radar back in 2016. Didn't see it at the time. Shame I didn't, because it's really good and deserved more box office love. I got to agree with the guy there. Makara. 32 survivors, room for 12. It's a nice story about courageous Coast Guards at the risk of their own lives trying to save an entire ship's crew from sure death. And then she goes into her whole thing. But make no mistake, this is an action. It is the action that makes this movie exciting. From opening, where the oil tanker splits in half through the attempt to get out to the ocean to find the doomed ship, to the actual rescue itself. I was on pins and needles, literally vaulting myself out of my seat to get over the wave at one point. Director Craig Gillespie, not known for an action director, does a nice job leading us through the scenes. I'm anxious to see what he makes next. I hope it's another action flick back before Disney turned to utter shit.
I had to put
That's good. That's good. You do so well with your write-ups.
She does. Jealous. It's a small novel. And that's why I asked her on.
Well, the beauty
I'm so
of
glad you did.
Well, the beauty of like all the behind the scenes stuff is that you can kind of like put in how cool that is, and then you don't really spoil too much of the movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. I that's a good point.
But for like obscure movies that people haven't seen, I kind of like to do a little bit of a deeper dive on. Especially with martial arts movies, I like to do a deeper dive on martial arts movies.
Oh my goodness.
Gary Barry, a very solid B-tier movie, not a must-watch, not a movie you rewatch. I've rewatched it like 3 times. I love this flick. But you may not watch, but you may not regret it. 63 over there. Yeah, that's about right. I saw mine with non-IP nostalgia glasses. We got Wasp, based on a true story, 1952, off the New England coast. Coast Guard rescued an oil vessel at sea after a catastrophic damage in a storm. Yeah, oh, so good. Wasp posted the trailer if you want to see it again. But yeah, Gary, Makara does write fantastic reviews. That's why I brought her on the channel to give a more fantastic review to enhance the channel. We got a lovely no review content spoilers. We're not even going to give you a Mr. Goodfella. Wow, that's it. Only 9 reviews on this movie. For
more, then it'll be done.
For Finest Hours, which is absolutely fantastic. So, next week is Thanksgiving.
Oh, next week, Thanksgiving, yes. And
I will be live. And Makara, if you can't make it, I understand. We will be live. But so next week, I was going to do Father of the Bride Part 1 and 2. But then I realized I misread my list. And I could not think of any better Thanksgiving movies that are like that. The ones that you just kind of sit and watch while all the family gathers and everything, while they're all putzing around. And we are watching Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men.
Yes, I'm all for
2 of some of the early 90s best comedies with veteran actors like Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, a young, oh God, what's his name? A young, he was, oh God.
Well, while you think of that, you got Anne Margaret, you got Sophia Loren.
Yeah, Sophia Loren, Anne Margaret.
Yes.
Oh God, what's his name? No. Daryl Hannah.
The guy that
Kevin Pollak. Thank you, yes. Kevin Pollak. And best of all, Meredith Burgess. Burgess Meredith. And this, if you have not seen Grumpy Old Men or Grumpier Old Men, you will not regret watching this movie.
I know. And you should also watch The Odd Couple. They were also in The Odd Couple from many years back. They just have a sincere or different.
They have a chemistry on scene that is like their real life friendship bled into these roles.
Yes, it's just absolutely intoxicating. I just love it. They have a sick sense of humor, and they are.
And Anne Margaret's insane.
Yes, Anne Margaret has always been insane.
My Miss Bye Birdie herself.
That's right. Yeah, it's a great choice. I love those movies. I've watched them gazillion times, literally.
There's movies that you watch every now and then, but Grumpy Old Man, if you see it on TV, it's like Shawshank. You'll want to sit down and watch it after you see it.
I know it. And my favorite is when Walter Matthau goes to Anne Margaret's house, and then she has that statue.
My personal favorite scene is when they're fighting on the ice and he tries to stab him with the arrows and fish. You stole her from me. Are you nuts? What are you doing?
It's fantastic.
That's gonna be Ryan and Jay.
It's good. It's hilarious. I love those movies. I think they are fantastic. So I can't wait to.
They're classics. They're classics. They like. I don't care if they were made in 91 or 64. These 2 movies are classic films.
Yes.
Makara, what do you think?
I actually haven't seen them.
Oh goodness!
You're in for a treat.
So awesome. I'd be this movie's virgin. So.
It's awesome. I'll be with you guys from Atlanta, Georgia next week. So I know I'll have good internet connection, bar any power outages. So
we will be live, and I'll be a little bit more prepped. I was wow. You know when I'm wrapping up, don't you, buddy?
Oh no, he's acting up. There we
No,
go.
he's not acting up. He's like, well, time to get going. He ran over here and immediately put his hand on my armchair, just nudged me with his nose.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he knows when playtime is.
He is way too smart for his own good. Like I opened. I have a puppy gate in between my hallway, and I open it, and I'm walking out, and he bolts, and all of a sudden I hear "Wow!" And I look in the bedroom. He's sitting on my cat with a smile on his face, like.
That's funny.
Well, my cat's almost 13 years old, so I'm worried he's 26 pounds, and I'm worried he's going to hurt him. My cat has now learned to run.
Yeah, my dog is about 70 pounds, doesn't like any other furry things or two-legged things or anything that comes by. So gotta keep him closed up most of the time.
All right. Well, that is where we are going to end tonight.
Yes.
Next week, Grumpy Old Men, Grumpier Old Men, the first one in the sequel. And we will go over each of those individually, give our thoughts and takes. We will read Makara's lovely novel review of both movies because that's why she's on the show.
Yeah, if I'm not on the stream, I'll make sure to write my reviews so that you have them.
Well, I know it's a holiday and not everybody does Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And so, but if you can make it, that's cool. If not, I don't know.
Well,
hit me on Discord.
Is it going to be in the evening?
Yeah, right about same time as always, 6:30.
Okay, so if we might do, because usually we do lunch. So evening should hopefully be free.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be with family, so they usually do it early also. So it'll be fine.
And
we've just always done lunch for Thanksgiving, so
yeah.
Which is good.
I did lunch too. My grandfather, we used to go to a place locally called the Bull Run. It's a 1700s tavern, and they have obviously expanded, but they had a Thanksgiving buffet, and they had the most amazing dark meat in gravy, and and I haven't done Thanksgiving in got to be 5 years, 6 years.
I'm just traumatized still by the nasty holiday Thanksgiving dinner pictures Jay was showing with whatever he was doing. Was it giblets or something with the
giblet gravy?
Oh God, that was just. I mean, but I'm like, where did you find those pictures? I mean,
it's Jay. We just don't ask those questions anymore.
I'm so glad I missed that part.
Oh gosh, I could have done without that. But
they came in right as they were talking about the deaths at the amusement parks.
Yeah, 5 people at Disney.
I was like, what a way to enter the stream.
I know, that was funny.
Or the chat.
Well, it was a fun stream. Thanks for having me.
Great stream. Thank everybody for being here. If you are new, hit that like, hit that sub button, drop a comment after the stream is done. And yeah, we'll catch you. I'll catch you next Thursday. Wasp will be here. Makara's on the fence. And we will be doing Grumpy Old Man and Grumpier Old Man. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Get some sleep. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And
awesome.
Catch
Thanks
you later.
for being here. See everybody. Bye.